Minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for another episode of Through the Glass, where some of us are unconscious, some of us have dogs, and all of us are Canadian. That being said, thank you guys for being here. If you like what you see here and you want to support the channel, please go check us out on Patreon. If you want to chat about this game and other Canadianisms, hit us up in our Discord. And most importantly, in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you will see a bar. That bar serves two purposes. Two, not four. One is when it fills, Natalie gets to do what the hell she wants to us, but more importantly, every dollar that goes into that bar goes back to these wonderful, amazing, beautiful players here that you see before them. So if you want to support this cast, please, by all means, toss a coin to your streamer. That being said, I will turn things over to Natalie to bring us in to Mirror World Canada.
Mirror World Canada. I love that. I am here for it. This is where we're going with this. All right. So quickly to recap last time, I mean, really could just be summed up by doggos and being knocked out. But what had actually happened was we opened up with Jules, who had been kidnapped by somebody named Sava. Sava used to, by what we understand, work with Lockie and knows Lockie and wanted to get information on Lockie, but clearly was not willing to confront them directly yet. Realizing that Jules had no idea whatsoever, a bunch of exposition was had, revealing that a lot of the mirrors seem to be portals, and they are normally guarded in squads of 3, of which, you know, Lockie and Sava and presumably one other was a part of. Eventually Sava decided, okay, cool, I'm just gonna help return you back to these people, but y'all should probably leave. Meanwhile, Lockie being knocked out, because apparently I really like just knocking people out, meets somebody who is known to be one of the Sand being a type of people that seem to travel within dreams, or at least your unconsciousness. And so the Sand that appears to Lockie claims that they want to help, and therefore tells Lockie, trust me, I'm not as evil as I'm made out to be. You should follow me. And then golden footprints of sand show up, and everybody starts to follow. Everybody ends up at the same building because the anomaly ended up there that everybody was chasing, the one that everybody's been after this whole game so far. And they are chased to, I believe it's the 2nd floor of this building, where both Levi and Lockie bring out the dogs quite literally. Kit attempts to shoot something, but hits a wall numerous times, thereby knocking themselves out due to the kickback of the magically enhanced gun. Jules pulls out an arm cannon, which was pretty awesome, but also they got knocked out while we were at it too. As we left off, Kit and Jules are unconscious and are visited by the same sand person, sand creature that had been aiding Lockie in the search. And the last words that were said were meant for Jules, asking Jules to trust them as they are Remy. So we pick back up in Mirror World Canada, Toranna, as I've put it, because I love abusing where I live, right? You know. So we're not picking up with the unconscious folk. We're gonna hold on to that just a little while longer because of that face, because of that beautiful face, Cora. And instead, the anomaly, as it's been referred to a few times at this point, has been completely, I think skewered is the correct term. Sava put his trident, his silver trident, through the creature's head, pinning it therefore to the ground as it still lights up in the flames from Levi's Houndoom, effectively. This actually just slowly became, I know we keep joking about this being an anime, but we just are including a lot of different animes at this point. Just how it goes. So
Welcome.
We've hit Naruto and Bleach already. All we need to hit is One Piece, and we've already hit the trifecta.
We got Pokemon in there too, so don't forget.
Yeah, Pokemon in there too, yeah.
Gotta work with pirates, I'll figure that out.
Cool.
And it is the two of you, you see Kit and Jules are off to the side, unconscious, and Sava is there heavily breathing as he turns his head to look at you, Lockie. You can see golden eyes come out from behind the bone mask as he just looks at you square in the face. Do you meet his eyes at all, or are you trying to avoid them?
Just like like Lucky is doing a really obvious job of like, nope.
Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you go? What have you been doing? And who is this one? As he pulls the trident out and points it effectively at Levi, who really isn't that far away. So it's actually quite up close to you, Levi, at this point, because I believe you had walked in closer.
What?
Lockie?
Do you want the long version or the short version?
The fastest version that gets the pointy object away from my face, please.
It is. So I went through the mirror to hunt this thing. He points at like the dead anomaly. Couldn't find it for a while. Ended up back on its trail, came back here. And that's Levi.
And you brought these people here. You went through the mirror. You betrayed everything we stood for. And you cannot tell me that is not familiar. That what this thing, Levi, you call him, can do?
I'm a person.
You can't tell me that doesn't seem just a little bit suspicious.
In my defense, I hadn't seen that before.
Me neither. You mean Icarus? I just made that up.
Not helping, Levi.
Okay.
You know what this means, right?
No.
Was I asking you?
I don't know.
And he just kind of like wibbles, sure that's the word, the trident kind of towards you as he says that I'm not talking to you.
Natalie, could you show me what a swivel looks like?
It was a wibble, sir?
Sorry.
It's a spear wibble, so it's a swivel.
Spear wibble, a swivel. It's like...
Oh, okay.
Yes. It makes more sense if this is an anime.
Yeah.
You actually visualize it.
Yeah. There's like a swing noise and some speed lines.
Precisely.
I have the feeling that I know what you're hinting at. Yes.
Loaned magics. That would be the term?
That's what I thought.
That's what's written?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Could I get filled in?
Where did you get your powers?
No idea.
Of course.
Like when that happens, Sava laughs and Lockie just looks at Levi like like
yeah, I didn't really ask. It didn't seem relevant.
Ask.
No, it didn't seem relevant.
Did you even see who it was? Did you hear anything?
Yeah, it was like a voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you just trusted some voice who decided to give you magic powers.
I mean, I want to just say, wouldn't you? But judging by your tone, you wouldn't. But I mean, Lockie, he like looks back to verify that they are for sure unconscious. You recall, like, where we met. If I got offered magic, duh, right? I mean, right? Right?
And Lockie's just like looks at Sava and kind of does a shrug in the way of like, I don't necessarily like Levi's situation and mine were very different.
Loaned magics causing great dismay. You know the text.
Yeah, and the next line doesn't help either.
What do you mean?
Can you screenshot it? I'd like to see the text.
Nice. And Lockie just points at Kit and says, that one.
Visions.
Yep.
And you didn't think to bring this to anyone's attention?
Well, the last time I checked, doing what I did was treason, so I wasn't sure people were going to listen.
The treason was your own choice. You
Yep.
know we can't leave. We're not supposed to leave.
Yep, I'm aware of that.
Then why?
I think we can all agree at this point that that thing made it through the portal and came back.
Yeah. You're, I mean, they don't really know you, so I don't know if they're actually a friend, but Jules, that's what they said.
Okay.
And I probably would not have believed it if you had tried to tell me that story again. But you've had 3 of these people, and they seem to think that that the anomalies have made it over. So
that's one. And if we have so vehemently lied to ourselves about one, what else are we lying about?
it's not, the divine devastation is not a lie, though.
It is not, but interpretations can be.
You guys ever hear a conversation that you have no idea what's going on and no one's really talking to you and you're just kind of here for it?
As you say that, Sava lowers the trident.
Thank you.
Sighing heavily.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea what you're getting yourself into, do you?
I've literally said that. Like, from the moment a tiny shadow rat popped out of nowhere, and then we decided to follow it
Shadow
on a
rat?
train all the way. I'm talking now. It's my turn. The whole time we got here, and then we walked through a mirror, and then bones were on the outside of everybody, and then there was like a bunker. You know how normal people just have bunkers. And then I had to get out of a mirror, and then I had to take a train and go back in a different mirror, and then Bones on the outside, Lockie over here was unconscious doing whatever he wanted to do, and then I had to come over here, and all of a sudden I had a dog. That was pretty cool. And then you're here pointing pointy objects at me with Deer Boy doing whatever. So, excuse me, Mr. Bones on the outside pointy stick.
My name is Sava.
Okay. My name is Levi, and I'm a person, not a thing.
Fair enough.
Your friend's kind of a jerk. And he leans over to Lockie.
Do you say that loud enough?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. At which point, Sava just he chuckles. He's... You found some fun ones, didn't you, Lockie? Sorry, Levi. You are... I'll give you that. You're correct. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
You, and apparently, pointing at Kit, apparently the 2 of you are in a prophecy.
Gross. That sounds awful.
Kind of is. Kind of called divine devastation. Kind of how we run our lives, but you know.
Sounds like a band.
Sure. But you got your magic and you don't know where you got it from.
Right.
Which means somebody might not have their magic.
Yep.
And that's a whole other world of problems.
Yep. Care to explain why Naya's magic ended up with Levi?
Wait.
Don't know.
Before you do any more explaining of things, I'm really good at lighting things on fire. Can either of you fix either of them? And he just points to the unconscious forms on the ground. I feel like neither one of you are going to want to explain this to me the first time, and definitely not explain it a second time. And I'm not going to be able to explain whatever you just said at all.
Are you sure? Because I kind of liked your recap.
Yeah, but it's going to lose so much of, like, the realism and some kind of gravity that you're going to apply to it. It sounds real sad and serious when you say it.
Fair enough.
I can do that.
Shit, they're unconscious. Yeah, you better fix that fast.
Great.
Well, I can't really do I don't think I can do the fixing thing, but I can definitely do the recaps of it. You probably shouldn't be with us for much longer.
No. Are you actually going to explain to these people what's going on? Because when I spoke to Jules, you hadn't.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten around to it.
Were you ever going to?
Yes.
I mean, in his
After
defense, we get jumped by people with bones on the outside, and then someone got kidnapped, and then he teleported or something. So
No, that's right.
it's only been like a couple hours, I think.
Yeah. Hadn't really gotten around to it.
Right. Lockie, Naya's been missing since the day you left. Figure it the fuck out. And he turns on his heel and walks out.
Man, your friends suck. I can see why you left.
And we're gonna go to the other two, the unconscious ones, as Levi and Lockie try to figure out how they're waking up those two. So, where we left you both was unconscious with a shadow-wrapped figure standing before you. You can also both see each other. It's as if you're sharing the same space in this dreamscape. It is completely darkened. It's almost like being in an empty room. In that you don't actually know it's even really a room, but you feel like it might be. There's at least a floor. You don't really see any walls around you, but they're all cloaked in shadow, so one could presume that that would be the space that you are inhabiting at this moment. And this shadowed figure looks at you both and specifically inclines their head towards Jules. Jules, I know this is going to be hard to believe, but it's me, Remy. Yeah, okay, I know this is going to be a lot to explain. And I'm sorry, you, as they look over at Kit, you also unconscious, so you just got wrapped up into this. It's normally, I try normally only to explain this to one person, but you just happen to get wrapped into this now too, and I'm sorry. I'm not like how they say I'm supposed to be. That's because I spent too much time in your world. Jules. It's me. Come on.
And Jules is just going to kind of slowly move towards them. And as they do, is going to pull their sleeve down to show a tattoo on their wrist of a chess piece, the king, and see if the figure in front of them holds up their wrist to have a matching one.
You see them flounder as they're playing with their wrists, trying as if they're trying to find it. And instead reaches into their pocket, pulling out a chess piece itself, made of shadow, but the king. I don't have the body that had that tattoo anymore. Oh God. What do you remember of that night, Jules?
I remember that we had heard the news reports of people that had gone missing, or that there were a lot of murders kind of popping up, and you always want to look into things more because it's kind of what you're trying to do for a living. And we went to go check it out because we do that sort of stuff together. I don't ever want to just let you go alone, especially to a place like that. And I remember hearing something, and you kind of took off. And I went after you, and I kind of remember seeing this thing that we've seen here. It's this huge monstrous thing with bones on the outside.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what happened to you, but if you came through like us, if you just came through the mirror and got stuck here, then at least that makes sense as to why you're here. But we know how to get back out. We're trying to get back out right now. So you can come with us and we can go home.
I'm so sorry, Jules. I can't. God. I never thought I'd see you again. What happened that night? Yes. The creature, the anomaly. It came out. It shouldn't have come out. Those aren't supposed to make it out of, well, here. As I'm sure you've assumed. And I had made it a point to make sure that the ones that made it through wouldn't go back or cause any other problems. Which is why we were always hunting those things and, tracking down the murders and whatnot. But that night you did something. And
I did something.
It was an accident. I know it was an accident. I don't blame you in the slightest.
I'm sorry. What are you talking about? What happened? What did I do?
And they approach you. Almost, they glide across the floor as if they're skating, as if it's ice that they're traversing. Gliding to your side and pull up the sleeve that has your arm cannon on it, revealing that. I'm not surprised you don't remember. I wouldn't want to remember it either, and I'd hoped that was my last imparting gift I could give you, was that you wouldn't remember what happened. my body died that night. I'm still alive, but I don't have a form that I can take anymore. We sand people, we exist in the subconscious, in your conscious. And while, yes, sometimes we can possess and take bodies, a little bit of what I'm doing right now, it's frowned upon. We're not supposed to, but more so than that, we each have our own true body, our true form that exists somewhere. And we've been told for so long that the two halves are never meant to become whole. We've been told that we were banished from our corporeal forms by that fucking bitch. And so we've been stuck here in this form. And I'd found my body, my person, who you know as Artemis, as Remy. And so I was able to live in your world. I was able to exist alongside you. And God, I wouldn't have traded that for the world.
So,
But that form is gone. For one reason or another. I'm so sorry, Jules.
so Remy's dead?
Yeah, in a sense. The body you knew as Remy, yes. Me, what I exist as now, I still live on, but I can't come back with you.
Kit reaches out and just squeezes Jules' shoulder in a firm affirmation.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay, Jules.
Is there any way to fix it?
To fix me or to fix... And they gesture at the entire space around them, almost as if they're implying they mean all of them, all of everything, implying it's something bigger.
I don't really know about everything else that's happening here, and I just kind of wandered in here anyway, so whatever's happening here, it doesn't matter to me as much as trying to fix things with you, especially since I'm the one that...
Hey,
Don't say that it's okay. It's not okay. How do I fix it?
Well, I need to find another body. I need to find my body. I don't know if there's a second one out there that is meant for me to work with. You see, I was never actually supposed to ever find my body. That was a whole, whoops, I screwed up. But it was worth it. I got to be with you. I got to meet my best friend. And so that's why it's really hard to know how I can find another body, actually. In theory, if I can keep... If you ever want to talk to me, you just need to fall asleep here. or go unconscious, which I hate doing that, but it's sometimes the only way you can really get people to listen. You need to see people and try to find, there's going to be somebody else who operates on the same wavelength as me. That's how I found Artemis the first time. And we were able to sync, and it just worked. There's this whole, if I try to sync with somebody who it doesn't line up, the frequencies don't match. There's no telling what could happen. I mean, I'd be very much unstable. I would start, God, I'd probably start seeing things. So I think the most of what you can do for me is well, keep trying to find people that make you think of me. And if there's one thing that I could ask of you, I don't want to, but I was originally not allowed back when I first found my body. I was never going to be able to go back into my world, into my home, because of what I am. Because what I am at heart is a spirit, I suppose. I only exist in everyone's minds, because I'm not supposed to be allowed to return to my physical form. So what you could do, if at all even possible, is figure out how to even... You need to talk to Lockie. He knows what's going on. He knows some of what's going on. He knows the prophecy. The prophecy's wrong. If you can figure that out, it's not even just me that would be freed. I think it would be everyone here. I'm not alone. I don't actually recommend ever actually going to sleep unless you can try to call to me first. I don't want you getting haunted by somebody else. They get aggressive. They get kind of scary. But it's not for bad reason. We just haven't been treated right. Oh geez, okay. I think they're gonna try to wake you guys up right now. So, I'm probably gonna lose this contact, but just tell Lockie it's wrong. You guys, you need to find the truth. If you are all here, you are allowed to be here, and that is not without reason. So just find and at that moment you wake up. Both Kit and Jules. Lockie, what would you have done to probably try to pull them out?
So...
Let's all take a moment to breathe after that. Sorry.
All right.
Wow, Cora, we were doing like bullshit anime business, and you're over here bringing in the sads.
So more bullshit anime business, really.
Fair.
Yeah, it's just a different type of bullshit. It's Evangelion, bitches. We're in it now.
Everyone was like, cool show anime. Cora was like, I would like Madoka Magica, please. So when Lockie said, I'll take care of the prophecy exposition dump, he didn't really mean I have a plan to wake them up. So I think he just like looked at Levi and was like, so I don't actually know what to do here. nicely.
I can try.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I can try. Um. Cool. And I think he just kind of walks over and like kneels down beside both of them and just grabs a wrist each. And like I think Lockie would just hear him kind of like mumbling, which is like an equivalent to an unsure prayer, which is like, okay, if you could just heal, if you could just like not light them on fire, would be great. And I'm going to attempt to use magic because
Lockie is regretting this decision a little bit.
Why wouldn't I try to use magic? Nat, that's what I'm here for.
That's what you are here to do. Can you roll plus weird for me, please?
I sure can. I'm looking for reasons why I should have bonuses to this, and I don't have any.
Oh no.
Cool. Yeah, let's do this. I'm using an ability called This Might Sting, which let's see what happens when I roll it. Okay, so no, I don't have any +1 forwards. Let's see here. Cool. Okay, so here's the ability, and here's what happens. I can use magic to heal 3 harm, but the process is exceptionally painful. On a 7 to 9, which is not what I got, it also leaves a gnarly scar. So, on a miss, Natalie, would you like to tell me what happens?
I'd love to.
Thank you.
To clarify really quickly, Kit, are you wearing long sleeves?
Yeah, definitely.
You were.
Not anymore.
Jules, you had, I think, still... You had at least pushed up a sleeve for your arm cannon, correct?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna take an XP here and just pretend this isn't happening.
And so you grab both their arms, uttering this prayer under your breath, hoping that you could heal them instead of harm them. Instead, your hands...
You just can't.
As you're holding onto their wrists, you don't recognize this, but Kit and Jules, as you wake up, you rise to a burning sensation on both of your wrists.
They have creams for that now. Sorry.
It's on your wrist.
Well, Levi, you don't notice this until it's too late. As you start to see redness form underneath both of their wrists. Kit, you wake to the smell of singed fabrics as your outer garment, which I believe is, you've got almost a suit jacket, I think, sort of style thing going on. And you smell that burning as it singes. There's black just coming out from underneath Levi's arm, and you both wake up in a start as Kit, you think you might be on fire. And Jules, there is this unbelievable, painful, burning sensation right around where your arm cannon is. Which the arm cannon is now also getting warm just by being in proximity to Levi's hand.
Delicious.
If either of you had hair there, it's now gone.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say that as Jules comes to, it's a combination of just screaming in like anguish and pain, and also like as they kind of almost like sit up, like just like Manchurian Candidate style, that Jules is also like screaming at the same time, "What do I call you?" as they're coming to. That's all.
Kit is like, Levi, what the hell is wrong with you?
I'm so sorry. I was trying to help you. Lockie told me to do it.
We were finally getting some information, Levi.
You were unconscious for like several minutes.
Yeah, there's like this dreamscape.
Okay, well, normally when something knocks you unconscious for several minutes, that's bad.
That thing screamed at me.
What?
That deer-headed thing. It screamed at me, and it was really loud in my brain.
Okay. I don't.
And you burned a hole in my velvet jacket, dude.
Okay, well, listen. What do you want me to do about it? Steal
Buy
a
me
new one.
New one.
Fine. Buy a new one.
Jules is literally as they're like kind of just coming to and kind of like sitting on the ground is just going to like be like doing what they can to just kind of like try and soothe the pain that's on their arm and simultaneously just pull this whole look at Levi, just no more fire for you.
That's all I got. At least
I don't give a shit. No more.
Listen, you shot a gun and passed out. And then they shot a gun and missed several times and passed out. The only thing that was effective was fire. Okay? Well, and the mean pointy guy.
Where'd they go?
Sava?
Yeah, the mean pointy guy. I don't know where he went. He left. He was very broody and had a lot of exposition and was very rude, and then he left. And then
I'm surprised you two didn't get along better.
We didn't. He was quite rude. And then he told Lockie to fill us in. Which is why we woke you up, because you were unconscious for minutes, and Lockie has to tell us a story.
Fire on other people, not on us.
Don't pass out.
I'm with Jules on this one.
Lockie, any help? Any help at all? Great.
And
Thanks, man.
Lockie, like, just sort of sits down on, like, the floor, just kind of drops to the floor. And it's just like, okay. And then I don't know what it looks like or sounds like, or if it even sounds different, but I'm turning on the soothe button in my head. And it's just like, look, I understand that didn't work out quite the way anybody would have planned. But we have a lot of stuff to talk about, and I think the faster we get it done, the better.
What do you know about a prophecy?
More than I'd like. Okay, actually, I should start from the beginning. Before I came to your world, if you hadn't figured it out already, I was a soldier in this one, and I worked with a squad that was Sava and our other friend isn't strong enough of a word, but I'll have to do. It was with Sava and Naya, who I don't think any of you have met yet. And Lockie kind of looks kind of offhandedly at Levi when they say this, and then turns back. This creature, the one we just took out, was one of the ones we were assigned to. It came near a portal we were assigned to guard. We get our orders from someone who seems to be able to tell whether or not something is going to happen in a certain location. And then we get deployed there, and we try to prevent anything from going through the mirrors. That one made it through, obviously. And I was the only one to have seen it gone through due to circumstances around that fight. When I made the report that something made it through, I was told that could not have happened because they wouldn't know. So Our job has always been to make sure that those things don't make it through the portal, and we failed. And I concluded that my job wasn't over until it was fixed, until this was returned back to the way it should have been. So I decided to go through the portal and track it down myself. Naya caught wind of what I was planning to do. They tried to stop me. We fought. It didn't really end well for either of us, but I made it through. And that's right around the time Levi found me. Okay. Part of the reason why we do this is because of a prophecy, one that I am pretty sure references two of you. And we were told, and the way we were taught, was that the way to prevent it was to keep the world separate. And now I don't think I'm not quite so sure that that's true. Any questions?
When we were out, it's a long story, but it's not, the prophecy's not right. It's wrong. Kit and I were in this kind of weird void space together, and my friend told us that the prophecy isn't right and that we're all here for a reason, and if we were all able to get through that means something, and we're told to talk to you.
Oh, in case anyone was wondering, it's me and Kit.
Oh, right.
In the prophecy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't say that, did I?
Something about borrowed powers, which I don't know what that means.
Loaned magics. Borrowed powers is a little vague. Loaned magics is pretty specific, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, you're... Okay.
Okay.
So the reason So we didn't talk a lot after you... Then Blocky sort of suit gestures at Levi's new clothes.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was partially because I recognized the magic you used.
Oh.
Naya used something very similar.
Oh.
I was also avoiding you because I didn't know how to have that conversation.
Okay, so I'm in it, and you're in it, and he points to Kit. And
yeah, but my powers aren't borrowed. I was just born like
that
this.
That line is different. The line for Levi is loaned magics causing great dismay.
Come on.
That sounds about right, though.
And the line for Kit, I think, is and rises one with visions stark.
I mean, I like the idea of rising, but...
Well, if you keep passing out.
So, why am I here then?
And Locky just looks at us and goes, I have no idea. That's part of the reason that we ran into each other once, right?
Yeah.
And part of it was because I was curious about someone who seemed to have no place in this prophecy and yet was there every time I turned. So, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry again about how things were when we first met each other.
So
I forgive you for that. That's not a problem.
I don't know how prophecies work, right? But like,
Especially ones that are wrong.
sure. Either way, I don't know how they work, right or wrong. But you're something, and he motions to Jules. I don't know what, but
Gestures in non-binary.
Yeah. But I was told to make sure you're safe and that you're important.
By who?
I don't know. The same person I got these powers from, I guess.
Well, of course they're important. I mean, they're tied to this creature that we were hunting.
Were they?
Yeah, but we probably shouldn't talk about that.
Wait, why? This seems like the appropriate time to talk about that.
Because her friend died.
Exactly how loud of a stage whisper are you doing? That
It was into the mic.
How are you trying this?
Don't make me roll.
You should make him roll.
Take a roll.
You know what? Yeah, actually, I'm kind of good with that. Can you act under pressure, kid?
roll for subtlety.
Oh no.
On a scale of 1 to sack of bricks.
Okay.
I got an 8.
Going on up.
Roll to help party. Fail. Roll to provide emotional trauma. Success.
You can pass that message on effectively to Levi, but either Jules hears it loud and clear, or Levi doesn't hear it accurately.
That's an easy decision to make. Levi doesn't hear it accurately.
What do I hear?
What did you say specifically, Kit?
Her friend's dead.
Her friend got. Yeah,
Her friend died.
I meant to say that her friend was killed by it. Was.
Then what you've heard, Levi, in true Monster Hearts fashion, her friend was kissed by it.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh gosh.
Here we go, kids.
Oh boy, here we go.
Kid, I don't understand how that's relevant. That's like a very weird fetish, but like,
Dude,
I don't think that.
don't be insensitive.
Insensitive to what? Jules, if you're, I
Drop,
don't understand.
Levi, just drop it.
It doesn't make any sense. What you said doesn't make any sense. That doesn't. How,
so hard to be serious.
how is?
We'll talk about it later, okay?
I don't. What's there to talk about?
I'll tell you when you're older.
Like, I don't get it. So
We
your
s-
friend
we
has a
saw
thing-
some
your-
stuff.
your friend
We
has a
saw
thing for
some
monsters.
things.
It doesn't make it.
All right, hold on.
important to you.
Wait. What did you see,
What?
Kit or Jules? I guess. What did you see?
There was this person, I guess. They were all kind of wrapped in shadow, and they said that, and Jules just kind of trails off and very clearly disassociates right there in front of you. So Kit,
Maybe
take it away.
now is not the time to talk about that. But what's important is that they said that the prophecy is wrong and that we should talk to you about that, Lucky.
What was their name?
Remy.
Hiding that one, Kid, at all, or are you just trying at this point?
Do you want me to roll again? Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm just asking how loudly you're trying to say this.
Well, what you should just assume when I'm whispering, right?
This is symbolism for whispering.
This is symbolism for whispering. Lucky is not whispering because, oops.
Because
And
subtlety,
Lucky
kids.
just turns to Levi and goes, "Isn't that? Weren't they looking for someone like that?"
I wasn't listening. I'm still trying to figure out how having a thing for monsters makes Jules relevant to the prophecy.
And Jules just kind of snaps back into everything and goes,
No, what?
"What?
What? I don't know either. Kid said that your friend kissed a monster, and that makes you relevant to the monster thing somehow. I don't understand how that ties in.
I did not say that.
And Jules is gonna go ahead and try to punch Levi."
Ooh.
I have no idea
Kick some ass. Roll to kick some ass. Roll plus tough.
Yay!
Please don't. Be
Excited.
gentle. Be gentle. My face is soft.
Oh, okay, Kit. Kit is going to try to interfere with Jinx and
Okay.
give you a -1 forward. Well, I guess -1 wouldn't even do anything.
It
So.
won't actually. So because that was a beautiful. On a 12
I'm fueled by
plus,
rage.
It is advanced
Question.
at this point.
Can
what?
I was gonna say, can I roll to protect though?
You gonna try to protect?
Is that a thing I can?
How are you gonna? I will let you roll to protect someone.
Okay.
It may take it from like the 12 plus advanced bad for Levi to just like a 10 plus.
I was just gonna say, can I just take it straight up, whatever it is?
Roll first and we'll see.
Cool. Awesome. Let me. Is that tough? I think that's tough, right?
Yeah,
Plus
roll
tough,
tough.
yes.
All right. Cool.
God, this is a shit show.
Cool. So maybe yes, but also maybe worse. Worse. Please continue.
Okay.
I hate this game.
Is it because you're getting punched?
It's because I'm getting punched.
Talk shit, get hit, motherfucker.
How does rolling work when I'm getting punched by a teammate? Is it you add 2d6 plus your stat?
Oh.
Goodness. What you're going to do?
The best part is Levi has no idea. He was completely in earnest, like, I don't understand. Poof. Ow.
All right. So
Oh
you
no,
managed-
friend, you won't just be going ow after Jules is done.
Oh no.
I'm gonna say because what Jules had rolled was pretty freaking great. Which on that roll, perhaps in this case, if you're cool with it, Jules, your attack inflicts double the normal harm. And what I'm going to say is, yes, Lucky, you definitively stand in front and manage to somewhat protect Levi. But Jules, your rage in this moment is absolutely fueling you. As you pull back, punch, Lucky sees what's going on, steps in the way, instead fully taking it in the chest. And he flies back into Levi, the two of them crashing into the wall behind them, both of them taking +1 harm. Or taking 1 harm.
Cool.
Oh, God bless armor.
So we take 1 harm?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
And since we're
Basically-
on that theme,
It got split between the two of them.
Okay.
Cool. Yay,
Since we're-
armor.
since we're on that theme, you just see Jules kind of come up in true Dragon Ball Z kind of style, just like heavily panting from that explosion of force, just being like, "Don't talk about my friend."
I don't even know what I said. Get off me. You're so heavy. What are you made out of? Is it all bone? Please, I don't even know what's happening right now.
Levi just
Why did you
rolls
punch me?
like Lockie just rolls off of Levi at this point. I think just like it is for the most part fine.
Jules is gonna walk over to Levi and just like grab him by the scruff of his clothes and like get like this fucking far away from his face. And is literally just gonna be like, you need to learn to shut your fucking mouth or I'll do it for you. And not in the pretty fanciful way that you seem to like doing, and kind of side glances towards Kit for a hot second.
What did you say?
Yeah, what Jules said.
Lockie, as you roll over, starting to get yourself back up again, you notice that there was a folded up piece of paper dropped on the ground. You're going to assume by Sava.
Okay. I'm not gonna uncrumple that noise.
Hmm?
I'm gonna uncrumple that noise.
Cool. I'm gonna share, because I'm gonna make the guess that you're probably eventually gonna share this, because you recognize immediately what is written on it. And I'm going to show you all through roll 20. It seems Sava didn't entirely trust you to completely tell what was going on.
The prophecy.
And so
Lockie just like cool, and then just like tap, like sort of just like steps into view of Jules, as like holding the folded piece of paper between hands. Like, if you want to read this, I think it'll be faster than me telling it to you.
Jules kind of looks over to Lockie and kind of lets Levi go and wanders over to kind of just like sits down or like kneels down near Lockie and is just kind of like reading it like in tandem while Lockie like Jules has one hand on one side of the paper, Lockie has hand on the other side of it, and is just kind of reading, so that way if they have any questions, Lockie's right there and proceeds to
Seems
read
fair.
this note.
And Lockie kind of looks over Kit and is like, you should probably also read this.
Kit is also looming over her shoulders looking at this.
Levi, like, Lockie turns to look at Levi, is about to say, you should also look at this, and then is like, maybe you should stay there for a second.
It's a good call, friend.
for the sake of anybody watching, I will read it out because I'm not sure how clear this comes through.
Can you read it in like a Gandalf voice though?
Oh God, can I? No, probably not.
How about Michael Caine? Can you do Michael Caine?
I wish. Jeez.
Ooh.
I love him.
Don't we all?
And thus divine powers all obey, as they champion through the dark, loaned magics causing great dismay, and rise as one with visions stark. Reflections shown twixt shadowed storms, two worlds held in tender balance. Through the glass the alliance forms, relying on one and each half's talents. Devastation will reign, lives are lost. To leave is to risk one's way. Submit to order no matter the cost. There's no safety but to obey.
Gonna wait till Lockie gets back to ask some questions.
I wish we knew what part of it was wrong.
Can I see what you've done?
Yeah, Kit grabs it and walks over to Levi with a glare, hands it over.
Why did you tell me that?
That's not what I said, you idiot.
You said her friend kissed a monster.
I said a monster killed her friend.
That makes things way different. Now
Yeah.
I know why I got punched.
Yeah, dude. You didn't have to say anything about it.
Whoa.
Jules just kind of like is still on the ground, but kind of like rolls their head back slightly, not so that they're like looking at them, but just to like, so that the back of their head is like almost resting at the base of their neck. And it's just like, I can hear you, you know?
And thus the thing and it said magic. Okay, that's my part. And that's Kit's part. And then... Okay, you can have it back now. He just kind of holds the pamphlet out. The Doomsday pamphlet.
The Doomsday pamphlet.
Yeah, but like, isn't this as they champion through the dark? Isn't this you, Jules? Or is this us?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, can I talk now?
Yeah, just don't say anything stupid.
I didn't think I did. And anyway, so, magics, that was me. Visions, that was you. Blah, blah, blah. Two worlds, that's pretty obvious. Through the glass, the mirror thing. One, each one's talent, that's, I have talent. And Kit, you seem to have talent, and just don't shoot things. And Lockie, you have bones on the outside and teleport. That's pretty cool. So that seems like a talent. Jules, recently I've discovered, has a mean right hook. And then that one says people are going to die, which is probably not great. And then, but who's, okay. Do you know more about it, Lockie, or is this all you know? Like, who are we submitting to? Who do we have to obey? I don't like that part.
That's complicated.
What is it?
It's a great question.
You know,
most things are. So, when I mentioned that there was someone who we took orders from and for whom we deployed to stop anomalies from getting through. That's Lady Care, and they are the one that commands the Daemon army in this world.
The bitch.
For the most part, like, Lockie stops mid-sentence because that is a thought that Lockie has never had before, and it's just jarringly new. And then goes, and the way this has been interpreted and was taught to us was that all we needed to do was follow their orders and do this thing, because all that we needed was to ensure that nothing from the mirror world ever made it to the real world. Because the real world's talent was being ignorant about the whole thing.
cool.
And if they simply maintained that ignorance and didn't dabble with any of the things in the anomalies, then that meant all we had to worry about was our world.
Uh-huh.
I take some umbrage with that interpretation now, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Well, I've always kind of known, but I guess that's why I'm in the prophecy then. And wanders off to the nearest mirror.
Wait. Don't wander. You said something before. We were together somewhere, and you were all the thing you do. And we thought it was Jules, and it wasn't Jules, and it wasn't Lockie. What did you say? We were in the bunker, which is weird enough by itself. And you saw the mirror thing, and you were like, "Mah," and I was doing map stuff, being important. And you said you saw 3 things that were shadows in a place.
I see shadows
Yeah.
quite often. And
a reflection, right? Yeah. Okay, here. And he like reaches over whoever's holding the paper and points to like, what is it, line 4, 5, something? Reflections show twisted shadow storms. And he's like, see? That's things. Those are things. So they're divine powers. I don't know what that is. That must be that lady who you were talking to, which I didn't catch her name because I wasn't paying attention. And then the champions are us because obviously, look at us. And then that one's me.
Such a shit.
What? That one's me. That one's you. That one's also you with your woo-woo thing. And then 2 worlds, clear, through the glass, got it. Relying on one another, we're here. Now line 3. This is where all the bad stuff sounds like. This sounds like this part's the made-up part. Everything else happened. So that part is true. So if the person said it was false, he's like carefully trying not to reference her friend or their friend and try to like just eggshell around this. It has to be this part here, the last part. All the other things happened. So if we don't obey,
Yeah, and they seemed pretty against this. What was her name? This lady? Kara? Yeah, they seemed really against this Kara figure. That I think they need to be stopped.
Kara sounds an awful lot like Cora. Real bitch name.
right? Agreed.
For the record, not that, but that's okay.
Yep.
I mean, does this prophecy come from her?
Sort of. Don't actually know where prophecies come from. That's a little bit above my pay grade.
Well, usually some old wise man or an old wise woman, somebody tripping on mushrooms, I feel like usually.
That's a very specific thing to say.
Or staring too hard into a mirror.
Well, I have another question. Is this all of it?
That's all of it that I know of.
Okay.
That's all of it anybody in the Daemon Army knows of, as far as I'm concerned.
Because I feel like there should be another paragraph in here. Right? Because like...
Or we save the day.
No, not even that part. Obviously, we save the day. We're champions. You don't call losers champions. That's not how it works. That's opposite words. But like, it just says, here's people, and then they're going to work together, and then everything bad happens. Where's the middle? What are we working together for? What are we doing? If everything turns to devastation, we have to have failed at something. What is the something? Are you not telling us something? And he like looks
as Levi is going through and staring up Lockie at this point, trying to get answers out of him. Kit, you had started to make your way towards Amir to readjust yourself, as you tend to do. While you couldn't quite make it to Amir, you are all still operating out of this empty, open office building of sorts. And with the corpse of the creature, the anomaly, starting to decompose at a rather rapid rate.
Gross.
Pretty great. You've made your way at least somewhat away from the group at this point, but without having a mirror, you catch a glimpse of yourself in a window. I'm gonna need you to roll plus weird.
Ew. Is this a premonition?
Yes. Which I like happening whenever there's a reflective surface of some sort. I'll take it. Excellent.
I got a 7.
I will take that 7. You get clouded images of something that bad is yet to happen, and you'll get to mark experience if you are able to stop it. So,
Oh, should I mark experience for that monster that I stopped from my first vision in the first episode? I'm just messing.
I was like, that was all. You did not. Anyways, what you see as your body goes rigid as it tends to. And so if anybody else sees Kit, you notice that their body freezes up. Kit, your eyes gloss over as you see within the reflections of the window a particular scene. You see a room similar to the one that you're in now, but not quite. It looks like it's probably more of a home. It is covered with boxes. Some open, some not. It looks like it's in immaculate disarray. Everything is neat and tidy, but the boxes are open, and that is what's messy about this space. It's hard to figure out exactly what this is. But in the middle of the floor, nearby what looks like a makeshift bed, and by makeshift bed, I mean a mattress with the plastic cover still on because somebody hasn't set up a bed clearly. You see a set of cards. And what you see start to happen is this shadow creep from behind some of the boxes. It jumps into one of the boxes, jumping back out, and it's making its way towards the cards. A mouth starting to drop open, fangs coming out. And all you see before you snap back to consciousness is a dozen eyes flicker open across the face. And you notice as well, this dream was in color.
Usually they're not. All right, I stumble backwards. You guys. I saw another monster.
Great.
And Lockie's just like, that's really convenient, actually.
Is it?
That's why I took the powers, dude.
Yeah, no, that's really convenient. Honestly, I wish like we'd had that. Or I guess we did. Technically, I wish we'd had more.
How is it convenient?
Do you know how much, how easy my job would have been?
No, I'm sorry. How is that convenient for us?
Do you know how easy my job is now?
It sounds a lot like you're both suggesting that we go hunt another monster.
And work together?
We hunted one monster and worked together, and one of you got kidnapped, one of you disappeared, two of you got knocked unconscious.
Yeah, but
that was us working separately next to each other, I think, more so than together, really.
Yeah, now we know what's going on.
Can we have a training montage or something? Like, I'm sorry that you spent your whole life fighting monsters, but I spent the majority of my life being homeless. So, I mean, yeah, I can make a fire dog, apparently.
Yeah? Do you need more than that?
I don't know.
Was that not enough?
I don't know. No offense, Jules, but I'm pretty sure you just can't go around punching monsters left and right. I don't think that's how it works. They're monsters. I mean, it hurts, but
Lucky looks at his the sleeve he tore off of the armor where he in fact punched a monster in the face, and it's it sort of does, really.
I just feel like we're underprepared for monsters.
We've been underprepared.
I know, and we've almost died several times.
But we haven't yet.
That's not a good reason.
Yeah, but they wrote a prophecy about us, man.
All right, you got me there. The prophecy doesn't say we fight monsters. Just saying.
No, but we gotta fix this balance between the worlds. If we got monsters running amok,
I'm pretty sure the monsters run amok inside here, and that's the balance, right? Is that not the balance? Is that not what you said? As long as they don't come
that
outside.
was the balance, but evidently that's not being maintained particularly.
oh no, you guys, oh no, this vision it was in color.
I'm sorry.
These monsters
Are they usually not in
I
color?
don't know
they're
what that-
not.
I don't know what that means.
It's not in here. It's not here. It's in.
So you got an upgrade to high def. What is that?
It was in our world. I wanted to say the real world, but I guess this one's pretty real too.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
But it's already there. Or it's on its way there. Sometimes these things haven't happened yet.
Did you see anything about where it was?
Natalie, did I get to peek out the window? Did I get landmarks?
No, the majority of what you get was a bunch of semi-opened Amazon boxes that look like they're filled with some particularly potentially expensive things.
I
You saw
start.
a number of watches actually on a makeshift nightstand.
Yes, I get down, sitting cross-legged on the ground with my sketch pad out, and I start drawing the monster kind of in great detail, and then take a moment at some point to like really quickly sketch out a couple of the like boxes around it, and like write Amazon on one of them
Amazon with two Z's.
with two Z's.
Amazing.
Amazon.
Amazon.
What are you doodling?
It was this. Does
What's-
anyone recognize their own apartment?
And Lockie just leans in and is like, "What's Amazon?"
I don't know. I've
Yeah,
never
there
heard
was a bunch of just like boxes all over the place from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So like a warehouse.
No, like somebody's ratty apartment that can't throw things away.
Okay, it's not ratty. It's a
Is
nice
it
apartment.
yours? Is it your place?
Yeah,
This thing is in your place?
I guess it wasn't there when I left. Okay.
Well, I would say kill your girlfriend or kid, but I don't get the impression that that's a thing.
It's not.
I don't think so.
Wow. Okay. Rude. Why is it in my place? And he like looks pointedly to Lockie.
Probably to kill you.
I don't know. Why can you make fire dogs? I don't have answers to all the questions, Levi.
You told me the answer to that one. You said I stole your friend's powers or something.
No, I said you had it. I don't know why you have it. That's a different question.
Okay, well, what... Scary Fang Monster, what are they about? Don't you have, like, an encyclopedia of monsters? Like, do you have the internet here? What's
No,
happening?
usually when we deal with them, they're dead, Levi, and so I don't really keep notes on the dead ones.
Why do you don't... So you don't actually kill them? I thought
Usually we...
Are you just the recovery
Just
team?
hit him. Just hit him.
Wait, no, wait. Are you just the recovery team?
No, we usually kill them,
Uh-huh.
and then they're dead.
Right, but you have to know how to kill them.
Yeah, it's really easy. We just hit them till they die.
It seems like shooting is not effective though.
I
don't-
assumed this was far more complicated, like there were different types of monsters with different powers. Have you seen TV? Like,
Look, some people need more, like, tactical things. I just... And Lockie just, like, does, like, a little dog whistle sharply, and then, like, the two things from before just kind of, like, step out from it, like... So this is the first time he's done this, like, slowly. So Lockie just, like, takes his jacket and sort of pulls it apart, and then kind of whistles. And what you see is, like, part of his side kind of turn darker, and then the dog sort of emerges from it and steps out onto the concrete. And then the creepy murder lizard thing steps out the other side, from the other side of his ribcage, and steps out. He goes, I didn't really need a primer.
okay. I don't know if you realize this, but our bones are on the inside. And only I can also make weird dogs, apparently. So if we could have a primer on killing giant toothy monsters in my apartment, or just any monsters in general, more than punch it till it dies, I'm pretty sure they rip our skin open, because that's what they do. Because the last one is apparently in charge of several murders of regular people whose bones are on the inside. I don't have bones on the outside armor. I have a nice suit jacket. And Kid has a mostly nice suit jacket.
Maybe y'all should get some armor. Like, I don't know what's so complicated about this, frankly.
That's not a thing! You don't just go to the armor store and buy armor in Toranna. Then you can buy clothing at the clothing store. No one walks around with armor, Lockie. That's not normal. We don't carry swords either. It's not a TV show, man.
Levi, you took me to a military surplus store. I didn't know what those means meant, like what those words meant in context, but I figured it out pretty quick.
That's not... That's like old ratty hand-me-downs. You can't buy guns and actual armor there. That's not what it's for. It's for extra shit. Surplus.
Well, look, man, while you debate this weird mouthy shadow thing is tearing up your apartment.
Fine. Stay there. There's no people to kill there. Especially me.
I mean, what about your neighbors?
Fuck them. I don't know them. I just moved in like 2 months ago. No one brought me a casserole. Nothing. I'm just saying. I have magical powers of fire and shit. And it's been going pretty gangbusters. But neither of you seem to have anything besides a sweet leather jacket and a right hook and woo-woo powers and a gun you can barely shoot.
Look, if it wasn't for me, we wouldn't have any lead at all.
I would have left and it would have been great. I wouldn't be here.
Well, how about you just stay here in this weird mirror shadowland and we actually go and do something about this monster?
Because so far all you two have done is get knocked out. If I don't go, you're for sure gonna die. Statistically.
Well, then you gotta go with us then.
Fuck! How did I get talked into this?
You kind of did it yourself.
Son of a bitch.
And Lockie just kind of looks at Kit and goes, yeah, he just kind of give him a minute. He'll talk himself into something.
But Kit reaches over and puts a hand on Levi's shoulder and says, it'll be really great to have you along, though.
No, it won't.
And so Lockie's like, so can we go? Anybody have any other further questions, pressing questions that need to be dealt with before the monster in Levi's room?
We should have a handshake.
What?
No.
Okay, fine. I just thought it'd be cool.
Lockie's just like, no. So Lockie is going to try, I guess, at this point, to take them to a mirror that he knows at this point, or be like,
sure.
Yeah, and provided nothing goes badly on the way there, probably back to the soup kitchen, I think, at this point.
There's one downstairs, right? In the warehouse?
You don't... no, you guys aren't at the warehouse. You're in
we went from there,
building.
Yeah.
You haven't searched this building. Lockie, if you want, you can consult your map and see where the closest... You can go for the closest one, or you could go for the ones that you know aren't being guarded.
Yeah, I think the ones that are
kind of a guess to some extent.
Yeah. I think the one that I know probably isn't being guarded the most is the soup kitchen.
Soup kitchen, but also when you had all arrived in the warehouse, or at least three of you arrived in the warehouse.
Significantly further away.
Yeah, because soup kitchen's actually quite far right now from you. The warehouse isn't too far.
Okay, warehouse is probably best then. Yeah. So, provided we don't have anything bad happen between here and warehouse, Lockie is quiet most of the way until they get to the portal, and then turns to look squarely at Levi. Once they're standing in front of the portal, turns to look at Levi and goes, "Hey, you know what? Give it a little bit of time. Your bones might end up on the outside." and then backs into the portal, just like.
Is that
Might be a
real?
good look on. Might be a good look on you, Levi.
Is that real? Is he fucking with me? Anyone? You gonna weigh in? If we stay here too long, is our bones on the outside?
Kit steps through.
No? Jules? Bones?
Jules just steps through the portal without saying anything.
So
Want my bones on the outside.
now that the two of them are through the portal with Lucky is just sort of leaning on like some probably like a crate nearby. It's like, is he still guessing about that one?
Yeah.
If Levi is not going through the portal at this point, Lucky sticks his head back through and is like, I was fucking with you, come on.
Are you fucking with me now?
And Lucky just kind of shrugs and pulls his head back through the portal.
I hate this place. I hate this place and I hate him. I just should have stayed in my apartment. I don't even need coffee. And he just mumbles his way through the portal back out.
Natalie,
Hi.
how do you feel about, since stepping through a portal, it's kind of like a magic, it's kind of magic or whatever.
Okay.
How do you feel about me using tune in when I have entered back the real world in order to connect to the mind of the monster?
To the creature that you saw?
Yeah.
Cool. Sure. Do
Does
it
that
up.
sound
Roll
cool?
plus weird. I'm good with that.
I'm going with this feeling that Kit doesn't ever really like on purpose trigger their powers, but Keith does. And it's like, here's a good moment for this to happen. So in stepping through the portal gets this really intense like feedback loop connection to the creature. I'm gonna roll with weird.
Plus weird.
Ooh, you know what? Can I use my, did I get a +1 forward from that thing? No, that was on a 10.
No.
I get the XP if I succeed.
Yeah, that's what
all
it is.
right, on a 9, I can hold 1, and I can spend 1 to ask the keeper one of the following questions. Gain a +1 ongoing while acting on the answers. Who is it going to attack next?
That's the question you're asking?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Yeah, I gotta go for the juicy bits.
I know. I'm all for it. It's going to twist a little bit. So you mind meld connect with this creature. And I'm actually going to give you a little bit more information while you're at it on this one. You feel, because there's a feeling to this one as your brains connect, and it's like you can see through their eyes for a split second.
All of them.
Yeah, all 12.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
you see what they are truly after. And for the record, there's something, you feel something. This makes you feel playful and mischievous. You get this. As you tune in, you start to feel their state of being almost along with this. And who is it going to attack next? It is staring. This is a little bit in the future, you're figuring, but it is staring down this deck of what looks like tarot cards. They've been opened. The deck is sitting there, ready to be splayed out. But this doesn't, even looking around this space, this doesn't look like something that Levi may have accidentally purchased, stolen, whatever. This feels out of place. But the instincts within this creature are not to attack anything. At first, it's almost to play with this, like you want to bat at it, with almost feline intent. And instead, your intent is going to be to try to bite this and run away with it. You're not trying to attack anything. You're trying to steal something.
And it's trying to steal the cards?
Yes. Which, and this is the last piece of information you'll get on that 9. They're important for some reason. These were left here for Levi.
I saw another thing. Levi, you have the tarot cards?
I guess so.
Yeah, the shadow thing, it's going to steal them. And I get just this really bad feeling about that. Like it's a cat and it's going to be batting around a mouse.
It wants to steal my Amazon tarot cards?
Well, when you put it that way, it doesn't sound like that big of a deal. But I had this really bad feeling about it, and we have to stop it.
I don't remember buying tarot cards. I just bought a bunch of random shit to fill out an apartment, but I don't remember buying that.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a thing that you would have, but it was in your place.
Okay. I guess we find them and stop it?
Yeah, because if it's gonna be batting us around like a cat, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Literally the whole point of the speech I just had. Welcome back to Team V.
Sorry, sometimes I just tune you out.
Thanks.
Marching order.
Yeah, so we're at the docks, right?
Yep.
You are all down at the lake shore. So you are nearby the lake. This is downtown core area. And as you all step out to exit the warehouse, you see off to the north of you, there's some sirens blaring. And it looks like there's fire trucks headed towards, oddly enough, about the area where you had previously been in the mirror world. You see wisps of smoke billow into what is otherwise a clear blue sky. As somehow it is the middle of the day again. You're not entirely certain what day it is necessarily or what time it is. But smoke seems to be escaping.
Levi, did you do this?
I wasn't even here.
Yeah, but sorry, anytime I'm seeing fire trucks, I just have to blame you.
Great, thanks.
And for the record, it is only Levi, Kit, and Jules who see this as they exit the warehouse.
Oh.
Looking behind you, Lockie seems to have gone missing. Lockie, you...
No.
Get those powers under control.
Lockie, you, upon everybody getting through the mirror and them heading out of the warehouse, you felt something reach out and grab you, pulling you back in for just a moment. And as you enter back into your world, you are faced with someone draped in white fabric, their long white hair falling down upon their shoulders, and brilliant white wings that have flecks of gold speckled throughout them. A shawl of sorts, still in that same bleach white, covering most of their face, covering their eyes, so that all you can really see is their mouth. And robed in almost Grecian-like attire. Lucky, I had given you an order. You are to stay here as you are faced with Lady Care, who has finally found you. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Through the Glass.
I hate this game. I hate Natalie.
Natalie. I'm crushing hard on Lady Care.
Oh, kids! Kids, I would have worn my overalls if I knew we were going on a field trip today. Oh, man.
That's not great. That's not good at all. That's real bad, actually.
Sorry for our friend in chat who loves Lucky.
I have emotions about this episode. They're all negative.
Okay.
This is a traumatic experience.
All right, kids. Now we're gonna log off from y'all and have our group therapy session. So
yeah,
enjoy your night.
We're gonna share pictures of dads.
Do we need to go into the, like, do you need me to do the outro here, Mike? Are you
No, we're fine. We're fine, you stupid jerk.
It's fine. It's just fine.
I was safe just being a regular dude, being creepy and following Jules around. And now there's all kinds of emotions and monsters and kidnappings and...
We'll get back to that one in a second.
I just want to buy dope shit. Hang out.
And we're about to go see all of that, or at least some of you.
Are we? All right.
Y'all clearly are.
Yeah. This has been another episode of Through the Glass. We're back and forth through that damn glass. Yeah, so let's go around, do our introductions. We'll get the hell out of here, and we'll see you guys next week. We'll start with our evil, awful, terrible keeper. Natalie, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Oh, God, asides, what am I up to asides just trying to slowly destroy all of you? I love you all. I genuinely do. Hi, my name is Natalie. You can find me on Twitter at Chaotic Rogue, where I talk about a lot of TTRPG shenanigans and nonsense and whatnot. This is the main game you can find me on right now. I've got other things in the works that I am writing, building, etc., especially with the Mage College. The Mage College is a third-party TTRPG content creator where I do a bunch of writing and design work with a fabulous team of 200 other individuals, one of which is Archmage Derek, who actually, I will give him credit, he did help me craft that prophecy. So y'all can try to get answers out of him. It's actually probably not going to work, though, because he was just, God love him, he wordsmith, and I love him for that. So yeah, that's what I do. That's where you can find me when I'm not torturing poor souls.
Great, great. Speaking of torturing poor souls, someone who either make you feel emotions or fist feed them to you, Cora, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hi, everybody. I'm Cora. I'm also at GlamourBum Live on Twitter, all caps. You can find me there posting about TTRPG stuff, random nonsense, random thoughts that fill the void that is my head throughout the day. And, just having a good time. When I'm not gaming here, I am also voicing a character on the Chords of Fate podcast that is hosted by Mage Productions. New episodes come out every Monday, and we're gearing up to head into the end of our first season, first arc. I have no idea what the plan is after this point, so stay tuned on that and follow my account for more information, and follow me here as well, doing the stuff with the people and the doobly-doos.
Hell yeah.
Punching Levi.
Yeah, no, please don't. Please do that less. I have.
Stop talking shit about my friends.
It wasn't my fault. I have 3 harm, and at least 2 of them are from you punching me.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear here. With that, we will head over to John. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
You can find me not in the next session, apparently. No, I will be here. So I'm John. You can find me on Twitter at Ryomasa, RY0MASA. When I'm not getting paid back for screwing with Nat in another game that we both play in, I am here on Through the Glass on Tuesdays, obviously. And I've got a couple of other things in the works, potentially. So hopefully more about that later. But otherwise, it's nose down in Thesis, and I will see you all when I reemerge from that.
Hell yeah. And last but not least, Keith, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Speaking of nose down and in boot camp is taking up most of my life, but yeah, I'm Keith R. Potempa. You could find me at Keith R. Potempa, Potempa, on Twitter, Instagram, and the other stuff. And I run an after-school program here in Nashville, teaching kids tabletop role-playing games with positive morality and nonviolent conflict resolution. And I messed up that pitch, but yeah, that's it. Check it out at theheroesguild.com. We're working on a Powered by the Apocalypse system for kiddos with years under our belt of playtesting with kids. So if you're interested to hear more about that, theheroesguild.com.
Sweet. Yeah, I think that's it from us. If you guys want to follow along, join us in our Discord. Links down below. If you are missing the episode, check it out on YouTube. And if you want to support the channel, please go check us out on Patreon. And the last plug of the night is please go check out our brand new podcast. We here at unMadeGaming started a new podcast. It's called Dark Fortunes. It's a D&D 5e pirate podcast where we play birds and adorable animals who do pirate shenanigans, but it's deadly and dark and like this. But cute. Go check it out. The trailer is out. The first episode will be out tomorrow. Not tomorrow. That's not true. That's a lie. Next Monday. It'll be out every Monday for the foreseeable future until I say I'm done. So from all of us to you guys, we're out of here. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.